to Workhorse Wrestling Network. This is Under the Radar, where myself and CM are going to discuss MLW, BTE, Impact, and Ring of Honor for this week. You look very excited to be here today, man.
I just woke up.
Okay. Then I'll give you a couple minutes and I'll take the screen and talk about MLW for a minute. I'll use Dolores's little things here because she put them up, and so we'll use them. So I'm going to talk about MLW. I'm going to start with Fury Road. I'm going to talk real quick, just because I don't want to take a whole lot of time talking about it. But uh, Ricky Shane Page beat Jacob Fatu for the National Openweight Championship. It was okay. The match never really made it out of second gear for me, but it was all right. Lots of destruction, lots of weapons. If you like that, it was okay. Um, then Becca defeated Maki Ito, which I don't even want to talk about. Matt Cardona beat Mance Warner, and Mance Warner was supposed to kiss Matt Cardona's foot. That it was a kiss my foot match, and Mr. Saint Laurent, who has taken Matt Cardona as part of his Titan Worldwide Federation or faction, wanted his foot kissed too, and so Mance went to kiss his foot first and bit his big toe, and so that was the end of that, and that evolved into a whole bunch of nonsense. Kushida beat Tony Deppen, which was probably the best wrestling match on the card other than the main event. Actually, let me rephrase that. This was the best wrestling match on the card. The main event was really good, but it was not. It was a uh, big meaty men slapping meat. So um, this was definitely the best wrestling match on the card. It was it was good. Ichiban defeated Tracy Williams. Was okay. I hate watching Hot Sauce lose anytime. And then Alex Cannon retained his title with the win over Willie Mack in a really strong main event, first title defense for Alex Kane. I enjoyed it. I'm disappointed Willie Mack lost, but he had a really good showing. He had a lot of good offense. There were definitely several times where it looked like Willie Mack was going to get the pin. I mean, obviously, he's not because it's his first title defense, but they made it feel like he could. Um, so that was MLW Fury Road. It wasn't a great pay per view. I would say it was like maybe 2.75 out of 5, maybe 3 out of 5. Not much to talk about. Then we had this week's MLW Fusion 181, which is basically the fallout from Fury Road. It started off with Mr. Saint Laurent coming out, and he has a new person for Titan. I think it's Titan Industries or whatever the hell his name of his faction is, Titan something. He has Gene Snitsky, which a lot of people remember from back in the day. I think it was WWE, if I'm not mistaken, where he was at before. So yeah, so he's back and he's old, and but he's in good shape, but he's still an asshole. So he's back, and he defeated this guy who I'd never heard of before. They left the dude went out on the stretcher. Snitsky went out and pulled him off the stretcher and beat him up some more. And then we had Microman in the main event, which is Jay Lyon and Midas Black. I think Midas Black might be Cheeseburger, but I couldn't confirm that. Um, they look race. I swear it's the same dude. But like I said, I couldn't confirm that. Um, they got the win over FBI, Little Guido and Ray Jazz, and Jesus Rodriguez, who was an honorary FBI member for the night. And then there was a whole bunch of stuff that came down after that. They came down to the ring, and Sam Adonis came down to the ring with a steel chair and tried to attack Microman. Says he's the most hated man in Mexico and talked a whole bunch of shit about his family. And they tried to attack Microman, and then the second gear crew came out. I'm sorry, Snitsky and MSL came out, and Snitsky chokeslammed the main event guys. And then they tried to attack Microman, and then Mance Warner and the second gear crew came out, and it became a big old clusterfuck. And then we had the main event, which was Shingo Hiro Irie defeating Calvin Tankman, heavyweight hustle, for the WXW Unified World Championship, which I guess is Germany's biggest world title. So it was an okay match. Again, this one didn't really get out of second gear either. There's two big guys just kind of going at it. There was a lot of chops and a lot of stuff, but not a lot of wrestling. Um, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say you have to go back and watch this show. There wasn't anything on it that I thought was memorable. The most important thing that I think came out of Fury Road and this Fusion 181 was that Selena De La Renta is back, and so we know how terrible she's been on the show in the past as a heel, or how great she's been, but how bad she's been her actions. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So that was MLW in just a little over 5 minutes. And I'll take this thing off here. I'll bring CM up, and we can talk about either Impact or Ring of Honor, whichever you want to talk about.
You are so shady.
Why? What did I say that was shady? All of it?
We know how bad she was, like how good she was as a heel, but like how bad she was. Like, bruh, so much shame.
Well, she does have some, she had some despicable actions. She's definitely a heel character, so.
Okay, let's do ROH real quick.
All right. I mean, I have like 4 or 5 banners here, but I know we don't talk about every match. So, which matches did you want to talk about this week that stood out to you?
Eddie Kingston and Shibata beating Blake Christian and Gringo Loco.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of all 4 of these guys, so you can't go wrong for me with these guys, especially Gringo Loco and Eddie Kingston.
What are some that stood out to you?
I thought that Athena and Allison Kay was really good. I didn't really think Allison Kay was going to beat her, but I wanted her to, even though I think Athena's having a great run. I'm a huge Allison Kay fan.
Allison Kay is one of those people that could always theoretically do it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't make sense at first, but then you remember something that happened like 3 months ago that she was there for, and then it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and she's known well enough that it's not a surprise when she's been at the top of enough. She's been NWA Women's Champion and blah blah blah. So she's got that pedigree behind her. So if she wins something like that, it's not a huge like whoa. But I thought it was a good match. I hope we see more of her in either Ring of Honor and or AEW. I hope this is a sign of coming.
Just keep her that. Don't go back to NWA, Allison.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully she can get away from there. It wasn't, it's really not worth talking about, but I thought it was funny. Tony Nese was out talking his shit about No Real Men, and then Silas Young came down and answered the call. Of course, he lost to Tony Nese, so again, I don't know what we're talking about, but it is what it is.
I would have thought that he would win, but yeah. This week's Ring of Honor was good. It was watchable. Like none of them, like most of the matches didn't really stand out for me.
I was very happy to see Willie Mack with the infantry. I'm happy to see the infantry anytime they're on the TV.
So. I want the MC. I want the cow. I want them to win all the things. Like just have all belts for whatever reason.
Yeah, I thought Kiera Hogan beating Layla Gray was okay. I mean, the baddies matchup, former baddies matchup, I guess, right? So that was okay.
I feel like that should be on AEW.
It would make more sense. I mean, that is a relevant. That storyline is more relevant to AEW than it is to Ring of Honor. So, if you don't watch AEW and all you do is watch Ring of Honor, which would be weird anyhow, it wouldn't make any sense to you why these two are wrestling or what their issue is. So, I guess was that. That's probably it. I think for me on as far as Ring of Honor, it's a solid show. I mean, it was an hour and a half, so not too long, but I don't know. I like it better when it's like an hour or an hour and 10 minutes. So, but there were definitely some good matches to watch.
It was watchable.
Yeah,
I would go back and rewatch it, but I wouldn't like push myself too hard to just get out. That makes sense.
So that brings us to Impact, which Deonna Purrazzo beat Danny Luna, which was okay match. Deonna always looks good. I'm always excited for Joya. They defeated Champagne Singh and Shira. I'm always happy for Joya. That song they sang before their match or the little thing is great. Their Joya song is hysterical. The best match though for me this week, the only match really we're talking about, I thought was Leo Rush versus Kevin Knight. I mean, that was I thought they had the best match.
Okay, that was the best match of the show, but that is not the only match to talk about. Like Bully Ray and Steve Macklin versus Josh Alexander and PCO. That was the best. I hated the way it ended, but it was still a good match.
Yeah. No, and this is leading up to Victory Road tonight when Josh Alexander faces Steve Macklin and Bully Ray versus PCO. So this is one of those, tag team matches leading up to the Victory Road tonight. So I assume Josh Alexander will beat Steve Macklin since he just came back, and Bully Ray and PCO. I think it's up in the air, 50-50 who's going to win that. I don't even want to see that match myself. Fast forward through that match. But...
Look, Eddie Edwards and that table. We gonna have problems, right?
Yep. So yeah, I mean, Impact was okay. I thought it was okay. It wasn't a great episode, but
it is so weird to see Alicia Edwards be like the heel of the division, right? Because I remember when she was just a backstage interviewer and like scared of her own shadow. Now she's like this big, tough kind of boss chick. Okay.
I thought she did a good job. I mean, I thought she came across okay for what she had to do.
I don't like it.
I don't like
it. But this was a show that I would make sure I watched because, like, from beginning to end, it worked. Everything flowed together, and it set everything up for tonight. Even though I thought it was for tomorrow, very well.
Yeah, no, it did. I thought it was a good go-home show for Victory Road. I thought they did a good job of building to tonight's pay-per-view. So, yeah. Anything else about Impact, or should we go ahead and move on to BTE?
Nah, let's make it a short one this week. All right. Let's talk about BTE.
All right. CM on BTE.
Oh God. Well, you could stay up here if you wanted to, because I
didn't watch it, but I'll stay up. I didn't watch it, but I'll stay up.
I need to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you've been watching these things, right? Yeah. You've watched the skits of Matt screwing up the deal with Chili's and Wendy's, right?
Yes.
Remind you of any other wrestlers?
To remind me of any other wrestlers?
Mm-hmm.
Not specifically. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, I thought not. Okay. So before I start, ladies and gentlemen, apparently there's a rumor going around that the reason that the meeting with the Young Bucks didn't happen, according to some sources outside of the Bucks camp, because the Bucks camp was always like, yeah, no, we're not taking that meeting. Apparently it was. Punk sent them a legal letter about the BTE skit that's been ongoing for years, that Matt is not the best businessman. He felt like they were making fun of him in those skits.
CM Punk thought the ongoing skit about... Oh my God. Could you be any more self-absorbed?
While Reddit is a hellhole sometimes, the comments on the poor intern who had to watch all of BTE and note down skits that could possibly be about CM Punk. And they were like, well, I don't really know how to explain it, but he stripped the bed up, breaking the food. And like, well, no, Ryan Nemeth doesn't say anything about CM Punk. And they're like, well, what does he do? Just creepily drink cream and like walk weird. You can't turn left. So yeah. If y'all need a laugh, go to Reddit and type in the search box CM Punk, and you should see the report and just read the comments. It's hilarious.
Unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
On BTE this week, I say all that because the angle finally pays off. We find out who has bought the Hung Bucks trademark. And it is Long John Silver. Oh, wait, no, it's Short John Silver, aka John Silver, has bought the Hung Bucks trademark. Well, The joke's on them, the Dark Order, because they paid $10,000 for the trademark. Ha 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 ha. Except for that is in 10,000 yen, which was approximately $250 each for the. So they went from being very happy to being like, well, Matt, you fucked us over again. And we found out that Matt Jackson almost sold the trademark for the Elite to New Japan. Guess how much he was going to sell it for?
I don't even want to know. Some ridiculously low amount of money, I'm sure.
The copyright. Just take a guess how much he thought the copyright for the Elite was worth.
Oh, geez. At $100,000.
He was going to sell in New Japan for $300.
For $300? Hell no.
300. And Nick Jackson's face when he said it lets you know. Nick Jackson is still very pissed off about that one. You may have seen the clips if you folks who are watching. If you're like me and in wrestling groups and people decide to coddle a 40-plus-year-old man, where the Elite Kenny grabs a bottle and he drinks it and he's like, "Oh, what is this? It's so disgusting." I don't even think Kenny drinks soda, so I think that's what he was reacting to. The next scene cuts the Young Bucks with coats, eating deep dish pizza, and everybody was like, "Oh, they're taking shots at CM Punk," and it's like, or just drinking Coke and eating pizza.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it was just kind of
God.
up from all out. And it was just like the payoff of the Hung Bucks trademark brings us back to Dark Order. We get to see the Hollywood Hunk do his comedy show, and we also get to see him meeting up with fans and just telling the fans that, you know, he is their favorite wrestler. Please make sure to say that on TV so he can get a little bit more. And they were taking pictures. It was him, Colt Cabana, and a few other folks, Sky Blue, and a few other folks in Chicago doing a meet and greet, and it was really cool and really fun. It was a really short week, but yes, given that allegedly CM Punk was like, yeah, they're making fun of me for this skit, I had to make sure that I told you that information, and I also had to tell you how much he was going to sell the copyright for the Elite to New Japan for. Matt Jackson, if Matt Jackson is ever with you making a deal, don't let him be.
Don't let him be. Run the other way.
He's horrible at that. But that is in all for BCE this week. Again, very short week. Very fun, very laughable this week.
Oh man, it's unreal. I don't know why I continue to be surprised by how vain and self-absorbed and narcissistic Phil Brooks is, but because they're eating deep dish pizza, it's got to be from Chicago. It's got to be a commentary or.
That was it. The lawsuit wasn't from this week. It was from the previous weeks. But the whole bit has been that Matt is a terrible business.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that he thought that was directed towards him is like, are you bad as a businessman?
Unbelievable. All right. Well, if you don't got nothing else to say, I guess we can wrap this one up quickly. It'll be a short week. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.